talk about a guy called HAMIS is a Ugandan born in Uganda, a district called Kalungu, and is living a luxurious life. HAMIS is a person who studied in the School of Law, Makerere University, Kampala, a Bachelor's of Law, and from there he's doing business and entrepreneurship, investment, and lawyer as the occupation. Presently, HAMIS is doing a lot of activities that's business and inspiring more youth. HAMIS was born in 1984. As per now, is in 38 years. HAMIS is a person who writes books and more building business. Before we start, what do you know about HAMIS?
Between the West and us, despite the fact that Africa holds 80% of the world resources, yet exploitation takes place in the West, and they claim.
HAMIS is a multi-billionaire dealing in two different things, that is building a biggest stadium here in Uganda, Africa, in a city, Kampala. HAMIS is a businessman who is dealing in agro-processing industries. That is where you take agricultural products and they are refined into heavy, expensive materials. Did you know that HAMIS is a multi-Ugandan billionaire?
Instead of going out there chasing our dreams, why don't we fight towards implementing our dreams in Africa?
HAMIS advises youth in Africa, instead of going abroad looking for work and they end up investing into their countries, it is better you get back and invest into your country, Africa. Did you know that HAMIS started business of selling garments into different market, that's Rwanda, Burundi, and other countries around Africa? HAMIS we are talking about. This is a guy who built a biggest house that looks like a state house of America. He says he built this house around 28-29. The HAM we are talking about is a guy of 39 years. Count at what age did he really build this house?
Actually, I've lived here for the last 10 years. So that means I built this house when I was like 28, 29. That's when I built this house.
HAM we are talking about. Do you know at what age did he start the business?
At around 20 to 23.
My name is Prosper Magics. Kindly, if you're watching, don't forget to give me a like and a subscription button. Thank you. As we continue with our story, do you know who is HAMIS Chigundu? As you're watching this story, I want you to listen carefully for the information of HAM towards the people. He says, to you people who are working, it's better to invest in business than building a house, because a house will never give you money, but business will give you money. in every choice you do as a youth or any person as an African, a Ugandan or any other person, let business be your first priority. These are the words of HAM.
Is it in a simpler term of business or deal? Because this is what Africans understand. I wouldn't advise anyone to look for deals. I would advise anyone to work hard to do businesses, because deals are temporary, short term and fast, but businesses are, yes, slow, but becoming rich is all about a constant productive chain. If someone can be productive, that's what amounts to wealth. Wealth is gradual and it's not done overnight. Anyone can get money, but not everyone can get wealth. Wealth cannot be inherited. Wealth cannot be grabbed in a deal. Money in a deal is as good as large sums of money for expenditure. Buy an expensive car, show off. But if you're looking for real substance in terms of wealth, you have to take one step at a time. You have to identify something that is productive, that can pull you from one level to another.
As you're watching, Ham is a person who writes books. But have you ever tried to ask yourself, why did he write a book of success and failure based on realities? There are different reasons based into business, and these are the reasons why he wrote this book.
Simply because we haven't figured out on how to utilize the prevailing resources we have at hand naturally to exploit them towards our own prosperity. So success and failure at the end of the day, just like I wrote a book, Success and Failure Based on Reason and Reality. For me, I believe reason is one of the governing elements of someone's capacity to articulately analyze what is before them and see how they can make it towards their own prosperity and the society at large. So the distance and gap between success and failure is merely reason.
Ham, when he was asked reason why Africa is poor, he's saying the reason behind this is quite wide and unexplainable, but these are his views for the Africa being in poverty.
No, reason is a little bit deep, because if I take it from a general perspective, let us take the world. I think all present, past and future discoveries of humanity are a mere, or will be a mere reflection of the reasoning capacity of humanity or people of that particular period in time. Reason governs everything. When God created man, he created us with a mind. For me, I believe success and failure, it all starts and ends in the mind. There are limited resources in the world to satisfy man's unlimited wants. So it's how someone utilizes the limited resources towards their own progress, prosperity, and the societies where they live.
Declaring him as the living example of a successful person in Africa. He says, we deny ourselves the opportunities to people who are living in Africa to get rich, because many of the products and the exploitation is from Africa. That's 80%. But you find people who exploit the resources of Africa claim to donate to Africa. His suggestion, let the mind be the upset of your lifestyle, and let the mind be a richness of your lifestyle. You can make it in Africa.
All I've done and all I've achieved in Africa. Actually, I think I'm a living example of the fact that you can make it in Africa. Actually, I think that is a little bit wide because it all comes down to one element, I think, which is reason. For me, I believe we're a direct reflection of our reasoning capacity. I would ask, what do you think is the difference between the West and us, despite the fact that Africa holds 80% of the world resources, yet exploitation takes place in the West and they claim they donate to Africa, simply because we haven't figured out on how to utilize the prevailing resources we have at hand naturally to exploit them towards our own prosperity.
Thank you so much for watching. My name is Prosper Magics. Please don't forget to follow me and give me a like. Don't forget to hit a subscription button for more of the future videos trending. Give me a comment or any question you would wish to ask Hamith. I'll get back to you when I get to him. Thank you very much. God bless you.